so much for joining to my session, Digital Transformation Imperatives for Being Future Ready. I'm going to speak on the entire subject of digital transformation to the extent one can cover in 2 hours' time. My name is Paritosh Basu. I'm a senior professor in MIMS University School of Business Management. I have completed about 34 years of corporate functions as a finance professional. After 34 years, I have now taken up teaching and training. Of course, during the course of my professional life in corporate, I used to teach in management schools as a visiting faculty members. 5 years I have taught in Calcutta University, Business School, IIS, WBM. And also I have taught in NMIMS University School of Business Management. That time it was not a university, it was affiliated to Bombay University. I used to teach way back in 1995 to 2001. 2013, I finished my corporate life and then joined as a senior professor. By teaching and training and profession, I'm a finance person. I'm a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Cost Accountants of India. I finished my master's in commerce from Calcutta University. Way back in 1978-79, I finished all these three. And then 2019, I started my career post my doctorate. My doctorate was given in 1999. Of course, after receiving my PhD, I still continued in corporate houses for 2013 up to 2013. So my two last assignments in corporate life, one was of a CFO of one of the largest MNCs of India, and the other was of the global group controller, again, one of the large MNCs of India. So you can ask me, Dr. Basu, what business you have to talk about digital transformation when you are not an IT personality. Let me tell you one thing. If you search Google in the name, I have a patent for registration in US, which is a digital transformation oriented patent. It is an artificial engine which I created along with my two co-inventors, my two junior colleagues. And I also, throughout my life, have done a lot of work in the digital arena, in particularly in computerization, ERP, and systems and process developments, etc. I am engaged in some of the consulting activities these days on digital transformation. Every month, I write a paper on digital transformation. For the last 10 months, I have written in the Institute of Cost Accountants of India's journal, The Management Accountant. You can read it. This time, I have written on COVID virus 19, what is going to be the digital transformation position post 2020 when COVID virus will be beyond us. So with this little introduction, let me start presenting my paper. And it is not going to be any interactive session. So if you feel that you need to interact with me after seeing my session, you can jolly well connect with me through LinkedIn. I have more than 14,500 connections in LinkedIn. You can connect with me in Twitter also. My Twitter handle has been given here at the rate Paritosh Basu. That's my Twitter handle. So let me tell you, in these 2 hours, I'll try to cover 3 items only: emerging environment and technologies, steps and guiding principles of digital transformation. And if time permits, I'll talk about artificial intelligence, that is cognitive intelligence, how digital transformation is going to help cognitive intelligence. That is my small agenda of the session. Let me start with an ascension analysis. What is ascension analysis? There are a special group of researchers who speak about how the world is going to look like 10 to 15 years ahead of time from today. Nobody could predict COVID-19 virus, but it was very much on the cards that when the distance between the habitats of animals and birds have been reduced from the in habitats of human being. Uh, the virus which animals carry and we do not carry, maybe that will be transferred. So that's the result of that's the result if we are today suffering from, that is COVID virus 19. So this ascension analysis which I'm talking about has got 9 predictions. We are going to be 8.5 billion people as against 7.5 within another decade time, from 2020 to 2030. Two-thirds of the world population will be staying in urban areas. That means rural villages will gradually start getting converted into urban areas. The world will be more transparent. As we can see, every damn thing we do, the other country would like to know, would like to ask us, what are you doing? That means things will not be private anymore. Climate crisis is going to do further havoc. You must have read Dr. Amitabh Ghosh's paper. He has written about Amphan, which came recently in West Bengal and devastated the entire state in terms of 3 districts and Calcutta. And you have seen Paris has got 40-degree temperature. Australia had a huge wildfire. So these climate crises are going to come to us. Resource pressure will be very huge, and the most important thing which will not be available to the people is water, including drinking water and breathable air. As you know, in certain African countries, agriculture is going to be a big issue because of water very soon. So resource pressure will be very high. Clean technology will be very important factor. And very soon a regulation will come when your building cannot be painted by colors. It has to have vertical gardening has to be done on your building walls. So that's the and your walls must breathe oxygen. That's the kind of change may come in. Technology shift. As many people, 7 times of that will be Internet of Things. That is what is being thought through. That world will be having 5 times of its equivalent population of devices and sensors which will be connected into computers through internet. Global policy will be very open. People will question on global policies, like World Health Organization is right, left, and center being questioned today. Same things is going to happen. United Nations will be questioned. Every multilateral agencies will be questioned, and how important things will be done, like digital currency. It is being questioned. Libra cannot be introduced by Facebook because it is being questioned. So you can't do anything without bringing the world into confidence. And finally, whether you like it or not like it, nationalism and radicalism will be there more. The people who have taught us globalization, that's the same nation, America, is now telling us there is a need for centralization, or there is a need for protectionism, or there is a need for making friendly groups. So India has been invited for G7. So this particular slide is trying to tell us that the world is going to change very, very heavily. Now the question which I have is given question marks to question point number 8 and 9. I have found that up to point number 7, whatever has been told here, that these are going to create a lot of changes in this world, can be to a very large extent successfully handled by digital transformation. Digital devices and digital transformation systems are being worked out to reduce the temperature of the Great Barrier Reef of Australia. As you know, it is warming up day by day, and one of the greatest wonders of the world is now dwindling. That is the undermarine life. I had the benefit of seeing it when I was in Australia. So many things will change, and many things will come up. So let's see digital transformation, how it is going to change the world. Here is a little glimpse of digital transformation, which is on the offing or almost have come to us. 60% of consumers across 60 countries are ready to pay more climate-friendly products. That means the perception and mindset of people will change. Even 73% of the people are thinking of giving more money money, and those are the millennials. That means the younger generation will be more environment friendly. By 2022, Dubai government has declared that Dubai will be the happiest city of the world, and the major reason for this being digitization of the entire city of Dubai using mostly artificial intelligence and blockchain technology and Internet of Things. Copenhagen has been declared to be by 2025 it will be a carbon-free city, carbon-neutral city. A huge amount of digital transformation have been applied, and people are the government is working on smart city projects. Global smart city project market demand for various items which are required to form a smart city will increase to 717 billion by 2023 from 308 billion from 2018. By 2025, it will reach to $1 trillion. So these most of these items would be from the digital transformation area. You'll be very happy to know, if you are an Indian, that India will be having the 10 fastest growing cities of the world. That is the prediction, and by GDP, and that will be the topmost city would be Surat. But one doesn't know what will be the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, but hopefully that will be behind us soon. Social and environmental consideration will be critical factors which will be driving decision making of the CEOs. So that's the kind of change which are going to come. Certain directional trend in digital transformation. Further example, let me give you. World will be covered by 7 times equivalent of IoTs, which you all know. IoTs are devices which are connected through internet. Like smartphone is an IoT by itself. Smart technology market will be going for 53.45 billion market size in terms of homes. Your home would be smart by application of smart technology, by smartphones. Your fridge will be able to order foods which you require in the next 7 days. Your fridge also will be able to tell you through a message to your phone handle that certain foods are getting rotten very soon, going to expire. So the fridges will be smart. Your mattress on which you sleep, that mattress will monitor your sleep pattern and tell your doctor how many hours you had a good sleep during a particular night. So these are very interesting things which are coming up. When you will take bath, certain digital devices will switch on your aromatherapy system, which will be fitted into your bathroom. So I can keep on talking about these digital transformations. There is no end of it. So that's the world going to emerge out. Let's go to the next slide. In this slide, you are seeing a lot of names. These are all technology names. Any technology, irrespective of digital or non-digital, can be divided into two sets. The first one is the transformational technology, and second one is the business impact technology. Transformational technologies are those technologies which completely transforms the way we would work. Like 3D printing. A house can be printed by a 3D printer. Internet of everything. Brain-machine computer interface. Advanced robotics. Smart mechanics. Smart machines. Deep learning. And drones. These are some of the transformational technologies which are going to change. People say by 10 years from now, surface transport will almost be over in terms of carrying goods. It is the drone which will be working. Recently, Government of India has given permission for flying drones beyond line of visible control. So you can fly a drone by artificially making it intelligent to land at a particular space. So there need not be a drone flyer for that matter. So you can see from the various colored dots for which the legend have been given, the mainstream technology, early adoption technology, adolescent technology, and emerging technology. Technologies are changing. One of the technologies, digital technologies, which I'm very fond of, and I have written a lot of paper about that technology, it's blockchain. People say that blockchain is a business impacting technology, but the prediction about this technology is that very soon, this technology is going to be foundational technology. It will do better than transformational technology. And foundational technology does mean that it will change the economic and societal foundation of a country. And blockchain has got that much capability to handle. So when this kind of a technology are going to come into our life day by day, what is the job of leadership group of business? They have to look through the windows. They have to reflect on markets and customers and opportunities. They have to reverse map their business strategies from market to the business. When I say reverse map, they have to create and generate data from the marketplace, bring it to the business, do analytics of the data, and try and draw inferences from the data, and accordingly develop their business strategy. And those strategy they will take it to the market and implement. So they have to co-create this and execute the product and operating strategies to derive sustainable competitive advantages. So there will be after COVID-19 pandemic, there will be a huge fight and drive for digital transformation. And people are saying that COVID-19 will be one of the most heaviest driver and fastest driver of digital transformation. So that's what is emerging at, and that is the purpose for which Institute has decided to get into this particular talk. At the moment, whatever technologies you have seen in my previous slide, there are 8 deep technologies which are prevalent and being used very seriously and maximum. I'll name them. You can see them on the screen: blockchain, drones, Internet of Things, robots, and 3D printing, virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence. Without going to Kashmir, you can have a feeling that you are shaking a tree, and some frost will fall from the tree, and you will, if your room temperature you use it by air conditioner chilly, then you will feel that as if you are in Kashmir. So that's the kind of technology which are called virtual reality and augmented reality. You can, without going to a shop, you can feel whether a shirt will fit into your body, and that's augmented reality and mixed reality. And finally, artificial intelligence. On some of the technologies, you are finding a blue star. This blue star does mean that these few technologies can be applied parallelly for creating a digital transformation solution. Like a blockchain can have a layer of artificial intelligence, a robot can be artificially intelligent, an Internet of Things can be artificially intelligent, a 3D printer can be artificially intelligent and can use the Internet of Things. With these technologies, a couple of new things are coming up. One is Internet of Body. These are wearables. The Apple smart watch which you wear is an Internet of Body. Internet of Body is that suppose tomorrow you don't have to perhaps go for a scanning, or you don't have to perhaps go for a CT scan. The doctor will give you a small tablet which will be having a sensor in it, but short-lived, which will be digested by your stomach after a few hours. Because of that item being there in your stomach, the doctor will be able to see in his smartphone certain internal photographs of your stomach or of your heart. So these are huge things are happening in the world, and certain things have already come into play. Robotic surgery you have already seen, which has come into play. Sitting in San Francisco, some surgeon is helping an Indian surgeon to conduct robotic surgery. The doctor is not touching the patient. The robot is doing. Doctor is only controlling the robot, and the robot is also advising doctor through voice and pictures. So that's the way world is working, and that's the way the world is going to change. So that is the scenario of 8 deep technologies coming to this world. In fact, they have all arrived. Now let's get into the next slide. You will not be surprised, or you will be surprised when I say that tomorrow the contact lens somebody wears will be able to take photograph. Those days are not very far. You have Alzheimer disease, or if your parents have Alzheimer disease, there will be wearable device which will stop the Alzheimer problem. These are coming up. You will be able to digest an information if I share with you that artificial intelligence has used 8 million songs from different parts of the world and created new musics and new songs, new tunes, which can be patented also. Those are not copies. Similarly, many wearables will be very soon be discovered which will help a human being to function properly at the old age, or at any point of time when some of his body doesn't function properly. And some of the wearables will continuously send information to your doctor. So healthcare will be having a new dawn. Like in Bhubaneswar, one lady is researching out which bubbles in your stomach can ultimately convert into a cancer bubble. And in MIT, people have studied ECG report and very nicely predicted that these patients are prone to heart attack soon. So these are some of the digital transformations coming up. In legal world, digital transformation is coming up. You give the artificially intelligent machine information about your business contract, and the contract will be drafted by the artificially intelligent drafting device. So these are some of the digital transformation. I may be doing kite flying, but sorry, these are not kite flying. So, having shared with you some of the shape of things which are going to come in digital transformation arena, it is now important for us to get into the main topic, that is the guiding principles and steps of digital transformation. Please follow me very carefully. I'll be taking you through step by step what are the steps and principles of digital transformation. At the very outset, let me tell you, digital transformation is not a journey. Digital transformation is not a journey. For that, you want to reach one destination and your journey is finished. It's not a situation. This month I have written about it in the Institute Journal, that some people feel that digital transformation is nothing but digital lipstick. LIPSTICK, which girls use. Any girl listening to this video, please don't mind. Here, digital lipstick means some of the CXOs feel that I will do digital transformation to show to my stakeholders that, oh, it's a digitally transformed company. But essentially, my organization will be run by physical processes. This is some of the people feel. That means they want to decorate their company by certain digital processes. Essentially, those will not be finally doing the job. Those are just to show people. Digital transformation is not a lipstick for decorating the company. Like in some of the banks, if you go to internet banking, suddenly one small thing will appear on your screen and say, "Can I solve your problem?" When you give them a problem, if it's a chatbot, if the chatbot doesn't have a question answer fitted into your system, you said that, "Sorry, I am not at the moment ready with this answer. You can write to so and so." That's kind of a digital lipstick, where you are showing that you have been digitally transformed. You are using a chatbot for helping your customer, but essentially there are a very limited number of question and answers are available in that chatbot. So what I'm talking about is digital transformation is a journey which is not for a specific destination. Digital transformation is a continuous journey, destination after destination. Once you have done it, second time you go for improving it. So what do you do in digital transformation? You essentially do 4 things. One is you innovate. Innovate means you try to understand which part of your business processes lack speed, quality, perfection, precision, which are open to risks and customers are unhappy about it. Then you try and consult your digital transformation team or digital team or any external consultant. Try and find out how you can improve your processes, systems, and your work methodology. how you machine and digital tools can come into your play for solving the problems which you are at the moment not in a position to solve. The next step of digital transformation in the journey, which has to be repeated again, is the digitization. At the moment, you have data in your ERP system, certain data you have in your physical form. Most of the data are in analog form. So digital transformation first needs transfer and conversion of data from analog to digital. Then you start using digital technology to change your uh, business model, more revenue for more revenue generation and value generation. I'll give you an example. You have never gone to any shop, but you go to Amazon.com or Zivame.com and try and find out a shirt. There is a specific space in your screen where if you move your cursor, the shirt will be shown from different dimensions. And if you use immersive technology, and if you allow your camera to be used, the camera will take a body yeah, measurement, and this immersive technology will then pick up the shot which will fit you better. And through immersive technologies, it will be shown to you if you wear the shirt, then how it will look at on your body. That's the kind of technology which is digitalization. So you don't need to come to the mall to try out a shirt. Sitting at your drawing room, you can do. And you are using a digitalization tool, which is called the immersive technology, artificial, say, augmented reality and virtual reality. Once you have done the study of your innovation, digitization of data and digitalization, then you go to digital transformation. Then you really implement the solution and transform your business processes and continue the process one after the other. So digital transformation is essentially use of digital data and digital tools for transforming of your business processes. Let me give an example from BFSI sector. An insurance company has taken the car insurance from a customer, and this company is telling you that there are 4 routes to go to your office every day, and if you follow this route number 1, 2, 3, 4, there are these different kinds of risks are there, because already the risks have been mapped into the system of the insurance company. So if you drive through route number 3, you will be charged a different insurance premium than if you drive through route number 4, because route number 4 is more risky. So one device will be fitted into your car by the insurance company. It will continuously keep sending the information about the route which you are following on a daily basis. Every day the route you are following, an insurance company is taking data of your driving from home to office every day, and at the end of the day they are saying that this is your driving pattern. Advance which you have given earlier by your premium will be adjusted to the extent of this much value, because we informed you that your route number 1 to route number 4, what are the different dates. And that's digital transformation of charging premium. Similarly, agricultural insurance are being transformed through digital transformation. Insurance companies are advising farmers that please don't sow seeds, because the weather report is that weather is going to change in such a way that your crop may be in trouble. If you sow seeds according to our advice, then we will be taking the coverage. So there are many things are happening. Let me not get into all those. Essentially, it is innovation, digitalization, and digital transformation. There's a difference between digitization and digitalization. Digitization is transforming your data from analog to digital form, and digitalization is using systems, tools, processes, which are digital tools, for for making best use of the digital data, for forming your business strategies and forming your business models, and thus forming your revenue models also for business. Let me give an example. In Australia, World Bank and Bank of Australia has used 225 million worth of US dollar worth of bonds through blockchain tech platform, right from advertising the bond till subscription of the bond and finally payment of interest and repayment of bond. Everything will be handled through blockchain technology. No human intervention. No human intervention. It will be entirely subscriber driven. A subscriber gets into the system and says that I want to redeem my bond. The bond gets redeemed. Automatically, the system sends information to the bank and payment gets made from the banking system because the core banking solution is attached to this blockchain tool, integrated with this blockchain tool. So that is exactly called digitalization, when a business process is completely handled by your digital tools. So you need to create your edifice of digital transformation, huge structure of digital transformation. Now I can tell you that there are my research says there are 5 pillars of internal uh, purposes and 4 pillars for external purposes to make the foundation of digital transformation, which has to be continuously strengthened. Once you have laid the foundation, does not necessarily mean that that will finish and there the end job ends. It does not necessarily. The internal pillars define the why of digital transformation and have strategies beyond technology. Which technology you will use is not your strategy. What business transformation you are going to do, which part of the business you are going to transform to digital systems, that is the strategy. Technology, choice of technology will follow thereafter. Create a dedicated digital strategy team. Your traditional team may not be able to handle the digital transformation. You have to train them, make them unlearn and relearn certain things, make them ready for digital transformation, and then they will get into it. Allow them to make certain mistakes, because when they will innovate, necessarily it's not true that all the time they will generate positive result. You focus on larger audience, you focus on big picture. So don't focus on customer relationship management and customer experience management. My suggestion to you, support and your team to look at the stakeholders relationship and experience management. That's why I say it is SRXM, stakeholder relationship and experience management. I'm talking about point number 3. Stakeholders relationship and experience management is important, because when you do digital transformation, it's not only your customer that is going to be affected. In a digital transformation system, your customer, your vendor, your service providers, your employees, your bankers, government systems, and your internal management control, your auditors, everybody will be touched. And everybody have to be brought into, each and every person has to be brought into confidence if you have to be successful in your digital transformation. Your next job is that digital transformation is not something that it will be achieved in a short period of time with a short amount of money. Initially, it will have some expenditure. So you will have to commit the fund for digital transformation, and you have to give that fund to the dedicated team for digital transformation process to be executed in your company. Be in a physical physical loop. PDP means physical digital physical loop. What is the physical? Your business is being done at the marketplace. Your ultimate consumer, ultimate users of your products and services are at the physical marketplace. You are every day doing millions and millions of transactions externally with many of your stakeholders. So you generate data from the marketplace, from your input marketplace and from your output marketplace, and the process by which you make your product to reach the market, and the process by which you bring your raw material inputs to the factory or your workplace. So this physical world you study, generate data, convert those analog data into digital data, put them into digital tool, analyze, draw the inference, where I'm talking about machine learning here. You can do a supervised machine learning, or you can do non-supervised machine learning. Machine will throw you certain inferences. You analyze those inferences, and finally, those inferences will help you to follow this strategy. You develop the strategy of doing business in a new way. That is, you re-innovate. Re-innovate means you completely change your business processes. Innovate here means innovation and invention. You reinvent your business, you re-innovate your business, put them into digital process. I talked about that insurance example, or I talked about the bond issue example of Australia. And now you do the business through the digitally transformed processes. And the journey doesn't end here, because world is changing, business ecosystems are changing, risks are changing. Your competitors are bringing in a better process than what you have introduced. So what you have to do essentially here, you have to keep doing the same thing again. Again, you review your processes, unlearn, and then relearn. These are your 5 internal pillars. What are your 4 external pillars? Your partners in the business ecosystems, they are your external pillar. You have to essentially touch your partners with your digital processes. Like banks, earlier, whatever accounting entry bank used to do when you draw 1,000 rupees cash from bank used to do. Now the entry is being done by you. You are going to ATM drawing, and the system is doing the entry. The transaction is being fed into by the system by you. That is, you are the end physical customer, and the digital tool, ATM of course is a very rudimentary form of digital transformation. Today you do net banking and you do mobile banking. That's also quite rudimentary. Tomorrow, a robot will help you to do your investment decisions. A humanoid will sit in front of you and ask you what do you want to invest and how do you want to invest. Let me not get into it. So your partner's experience are important, business partner. Next, your experience of employees when they work with the external environment. Mostly your relationship managers, who are the touch base point of your customers. You capture their experience from there. These are your external employee experience. Of course, you have internal employee experience also. That comes under internal pillars. But your external pillars are your employees. Capture their information every time they meet a customer. Ask them to fit the data. Ask them to record the conversation like a humanoid. If you sit in front of him, it will record the conversation. It will convert the word information into digital information, and it will draw inferences, and finally those data will be used for meeting the next customer, because a pattern will be studied out of it. The Internet of Things, which are connected with your people, like today, if you have a Mahanagar Gas Nigam meter, this meter is every month a person comes to you. In post-COVID-19 pandemic, you may not be allowing that person to get into your kitchen. So now the meter will be having an Internet of Thing device. At a given point of time, this particular device will connect with Mahanagar Gas Nigam's computing system and send an information how much gas you have consumed. So that's digital transformation of your business. And finally, your customer experience and feedback. How much time a customer takes to do a transaction through his mobile banking. This data you can generate from your system without even customer knowing that he has spent. Some customer will spend 3 minutes, some customer will spend 2 minutes to make a telephone bill payment using your mobile phone. But you can generate data, and from the data you can also draw a conclusion. If a customer, in general, customers are taking 5 minutes to do a transaction, and if your competitor's mobile banking system allows him to do it in 3 minutes, then definitely there is something wrong in your system. So you have to continuously re-innovate. That's the word I'm coining here. This is my word. This is innovation and invention together. So re-innovate yourself. It's a journey. It's a continuous journey. It's a destination-less journey. Each destination you come, sit there for half an hour, take lessons from the past journey, and then proceed for the next journey. And the journey is a continuous journey. It is not digital lipstick. It is not a destination, digital destination. It's a journey which is called digital journey. In digital transformation, the most important thing is metadata management. A person like me, we used to go to British Council Library, and if you used to ask for a book, uh, a man used to go to the librarian used to go to this kind of a bin where he used to look at a card, and if the card is in his bin, in his in bin, that means the book is in there in the shelf. If it is card in the out bin, the book is not there in the shelf. What does it mean? It's the metadata about the book. The book's name, the author's name, the year of publication, the universal library code number, everything is there in the book. That's your metadata. So when you do digital transformation of your business, essentially in your ERP, you have created certain master data. And those master data you are using mostly for your accounting and MIS purposes. In digital transformation, you will not be using not only for those purposes, your record and accounting is end. You'll be using those data for studying the trend, habits and patterns, etc., etc. So one metadata can generate various other data. So structural handling of metadata is very, very important. Like employee code number is your metadata. Once you have your employee code number in your employee database, you have every single data about this employee's performance throughout his work period with you. So and from there, suppose you are going to do a digital transformation team, so you can generate all the data from your past performance appraisal system, and then find out who is the best suitable person by data analytics. So next step is harvesting data. Automate metadata collection from various data management silos. Like today you do mobile, certain companies use mobile data for traveling purposes. So this is a silo. This is not an integrated system. Of course, it may be connected with your travel expense management system. But this data you are not harvesting in such a manner and storing in such a manner that tomorrow you can use it for a very interesting purpose of data analytics and using digital tools for controlling certain changes or making certain business process changes. Then after this harvesting data, you structure and deploy the data sources. Connect physical metadata to specific data models, business terms, definitions, and reusable design standards. Suppose you are a component manufacturing company supplying components to Maruti. You keep each component is serially numbered. So you can, if you keep data in a very structured manner, keeping the component metadata, you will be able to know which shift produced a particular component and which labor captain of this shift who was supervising the function. Up to that level, you will be able to understand and link a product so that tomorrow, if you need to take any corrective action, you will be able to take. So metadata analysis, harvesting metadata, structurally organizing metadata, analyzing the metadata is very, very important. And next is map the data flow, identify where to integrate data and track how to how it moves and transforms. So wherever you are using your data in the present system, you have to study how this data is being used. Let me give you an example. IBM has already developed blockchain-based solutions where if a particular wine bottle is arriving at your drawing room, and if you fit that bottle number into the IBM system, you will be able to know which farmer has grown the grapes and what was the geophysical position of that farm where the grapes were grown from which this particular wine has been made. And that's the kind of mapping of data is possible in tomorrow's world in digital transformation. And when you use the data, of course, you have to take very normal and due care of your data. You have to put a governance systems around your data. Every data should not be accessible to everybody. Yet at the same time, nobody should suffer and do a bad job because of data not being available. So there has to be a governance policy of knowing the data and using the data and accessing the data on a need base. So you can govern the data, design digital solutions for allowing access, copying, utilization, downloading capability, etc. So that's the governance model you fit into a data management system. And finally, socialize your data. Some of the data which will be required by your customers, which will be required by your vendors about your company, about your product, they should be able to access it directly from your system. You should not, you should, or you should be pushing it to his or her smartphone or computer directly. So it's not that all data are confidential and can be restricted. So honestly speaking, this imperatives for metadata management in digital transformation is really the most important thing, because digital transformation mainly is all about data management and data utilization. That's the most important thing we should remember. Next, I'm going to talk about 4 Ds of digital transformation. What are these 4 Ds? Discover, design, deliver, and de-risk. What is discover? Which I spoke already about. Discover the shape, your digital ambition, your strategy, and business case based on insights. Would you, as a wine producer, like to know, like your wine consumer to know which grapes you have used? Is it the grapes you have imported, or is it the grapes you have used for making the wine from Nasik, or is it the grapes you have used for grapes grown in Bangalore? So it's your ambition. You want to be very transparent about it. Or suppose baby food. These days Nike and baby food manufacturer, medicine manufacturers are very very worried. About 20 to 25% of very expensive consumer durables and consumer goods are fake in the market. There are huge fake baby food in the market. So if you want to give a comfort to your buyer that this baby food you have only manufactured, you can introduce a digital transformation through blockchain technology. Then next is your how do you design your business systems. Tools are fine, but tools can be made effective through your digital transformation design in your journey for work. Next is deliver. uh, Activate an ecosystem to readily deliver at scale. Satoshi Nakamoto, I don't know whether you have heard his name. He is the inventor of digital currency and blockchain technology. When 2008 financial crisis came, banks lost people's money. Satoshi Nakamoto and his team members thought that why we have to depend upon banks for our financial assets. We can generate our financial assets and control our financial assets. Thus, cryptocurrency was born. And this de-risking and delivery system is that in cryptocurrency transaction, there are miners. If you want to transfer, if you want to buy any cryptocurrency, for that matter, Bitcoin, and if you want to post a transaction that I want to buy it, then essentially the miners will first check up who is going to offer you. They will make you to buy it from a particular group of people who are authentically holding that Bitcoin in their parts, in their wallet. Every transaction are approved by a group of people who are participant in the system. There is no controller, there is no governor. Once the transaction is done and the Bitcoin is transferred to your name, now if the same Bitcoin you want to sell to somebody else, if you want to say that I want to sell it to B from me, whether you really held this Bitcoin authentically, authentic holder of Bitcoin, again the miners will trace back your transaction to the origin of that Bitcoin serial number, which is called the hashtag serial number. So see, the process is completely de-risked and completely delivery mode has been activated to the digital system. The same blockchain, which was originally decided for cryptocurrency, is now being used for very many purposes, including public voting in a democratic country can be done. Your IPR can be protected. Through blockchain technology, old age homes are being run. Through blockchain technology, various bonds, financial instruments, and trade finance is being controlled. So 4Ds are discover, design, deliver, and de-risk. These D, discover and design, we have already discussed. Deliver is the process you design by using the digital transformation tool. And of course, you have to de-risk the process, because any tool, if it is full of risk, nobody will use that tool for risking their business. And there are two P's and one T. Who are the two P's? People and processes. Without people and without technology, people and process cannot work. Without process and tools, people cannot work. Without tools, people and process cannot work. Without people and with people and tools, without process, things cannot work. So there has to be a perfect collaboration between the people who will run the digital transformation system, between process and tools. And once this collaboration happens, the success of digital transformation is going to happen. Now let us come to the brass tacks of digital transformation. There are 7 layers of digital transformation. And these 7 layers are data aggregation, which we talked about, analog to digital digitization, digitalization first, data management, workflow automation, process component, platform interface integration, end-to-end processing, and front-end software. This is the customer end. Suppose in a banking system, the customer is at point number 7, and you are at bank is at point number 1. Suppose the customer has got a certain transaction, the customer data has been aggregated at the bank level. Let's further explore into it. What is data aggregation? Data aggregation is nothing but aggregation of business relevant data, convert to digital form and store it for easy retrieval. Suppose you are doing mobile banking. 6 months back, you have transferred some money to your friend. You have set up his account as a recipient of money. Now 6 months after, if you have to transfer some money to the same friend, your mobile banking system should have a facility to retrieve that data, right? So, or if you want to see how much money you have sent, so there has to be a data aggregation process also. So if you go to earlier, the mobile banking system didn't have this kind of data. Now you can see if you have picked up the particular recipient in your mobile banking or net banking data, how much money you have sent on what dates, you will be able to see this. So it's a process of data aggregation. Then data management, categorize and organize the digitized data and make it ready for application of further processes. Look at the very interesting system. Suppose you are setting up the data, and if you set the IFSC code in the banking system, your mobile bank or internet bank, within seconds, the entire bank branch name, bank address, etc. comes on your screen. How? Because there is a centralized repository of Indian Bank, and the metadata for that is IFSC code. The moment you have put the metadata, that is IFSC code, the entire data about that bank is there. So you need not have to punch. This process of you to give the IFSC code and bank populating the rest of the thing is nothing but the process of risk management, so that you don't make any mistake about selection of the bank and the branch. The moment bank comes to know that this is the branch, and the moment you do the account number putting, there are internal systems in the banking channel that bank checks from the internal system the data whether the savings bank account number given by you actually belongs to that gentleman, Mr. A. So that is the workflow automation. So there is the algorithm which always works in the system, and automation takes place, and bank checks it before you actually perform the transaction. Next is the process component. Use result from algorithm applications for digital transformation of process. That is where I told you now I am giving the IFSC code and I am giving the person's name and the bank code number. I don't give anything. The internal systems algorithms are such greatly written that using this metadata, banks are in a position to correlate that Mr. A has got such and such bank account number with such and such bank branch, completely integrated. So now your mobile has got the complete correct position of your person to whom the money will be remitted. Suppose if that is a mistake, that this particular thing does not get properly done, crores of rupees will be sent to some other person and there will be huge litigation. You will be asking that I made a mistake, sorry, I sent it wrongly, you get back my money, and nothing can be done about it. So platform interface integration. So when mobile banking is a platform where you have just done the transaction, that means you have sent 10,000 rupees to your friend. This particular 10,000 rupees transaction has to be debited to your savings bank account, because that is the core banking system. Because 1 million customer having 1 million savings bank account, closing balance of 1 million customer savings bank account as on 31st March has to be reported in the balance sheet as the borrowings from customers under savings bank scheme. So that number will go to balance sheet. So every single transactions, if it is not properly transacted at the digital platform and finally taken to the accounting system through an interface and an integrated system. Here integration, I means digitally integrated. No human being will download the data and upload the data. It is digitally integrated. So your mobile banking platform is digitally integrated through your core banking solution. That is your main accounting system. So that's the next step. That is end-to-end processing. So when you conduct a business transaction, you are doing an end-to-end processing. I'll give you an insurance example. Now, when insurance advance was given I give an advance to my car insurer, and the advance lies in their customer's account as a liability. This IoT, which is fitted into my car, gets into the digital transformation tool, that is the insurance premium fixation system, which is digitally gets operated through algorithm. It determines that out of 1,000 rupees premium advance given, 80 rupees is the premium based on the riskiness of the routes through which I have traveled. These 80 rupees now has to be deducted from my account. So this digital platform of insurance premium fixing will go to the core accounting solution, that is the SAP or Oracle Financial, and it will be reduced from the advance, and the 80 rupees will be credited to the insurance premium account of the bank. So the digital tool is performing the action. So your business operation model has been completely changed. Earlier, perhaps the insurance company used to allocate 1/12, and every month the premium used to be taken to his income statement, because premium you always pay in advance. Now it is not. Now it is based on the actual operations. Why bank has done this? Bank has done this because they want to give the benefit to the customer who drives always through a safer route, so he should be charged less insurance. Similarly, if my customer always drive through a risky route and prone to accident, my premium has to be more because my chance of giving him insurance claim is more. So this is nothing but digital transformation. And next is front end software. Let me give you the example. Your mobile banking is your front end software. In case of the car insurance, the front end software is the software which is fitted into the IoT. It is nothing but a GPS based software. It continuously tracks the position of your car, and position A, that is your house, to position B, that is the office, which GPS route he has followed, that is prompted by the IoT to the insurance premium management system of the company. See how digitally transformed the world is now. So this is the journey, right from data aggregation to front end software. Hope you have enjoyed this particular slide. So there are four major dimensions. What we have discussed so far, if we can analyze them a little better and compartmentalize them, then these four dimensions come in. Sorry, I'm taking some coffee. The first dimension is the technological dimensions. Believe me, your strategy fixation has to be beyond technology. Technology will not decide your strategy. Your strategy will decide which technology will adopt. So technology comes much later. First, in digital transformation, innovation is very important. What you want to do, think of this innovation. An insurance company asking you to drive through 4 different routes at your choice, whatever you want to do, but they will charging you premium depending upon the route you follow. So, and while doing that, the insurance company has to use certain technology. Similarly, whatever you are doing, like marine exim, the routing of a ship, or for that matter, any digital transformation in terms of tracing of a grape from the bottle of wine to the grape where it was cultivated. So you need a technological tool for doing that, and these technologies which I discussed with you in that moon formation slide before. So AI analytics, blockchain, cyber security, communication, cloud, IoT platform, IoT aids, smart devices, etc., etc. is your technology. Your second is your management. That is your innovation, your strategy, your governance, your organizational forms, your skills, your training of people, redeployment people, change management, etc., etc. Because unless you do a change management exercise in your organization, any amount of digital transformation project you run, and nothing will happen. People have to buy and marry the digital transformation system. If the organizational people has got a resistance in mind, no digital transformation system or project will be successful. Then it will create and bring certain change and impact in your organization. Your people will change, your culture will change, your business processes will change, systems, information, operation, products, and ecosystem of your business will change. Finally, one very important point is I'm mentioning, which is not there in this original picture, is shared value. Suppose by digital transformation, you have saved a lot of money. Suppose earlier, if you used to spend 100 rupees for managing a savings bank account of a customer, and today your average cost of managing a savings bank account of a customer is say 60 rupees, including all digital transformation cost allocated. This 40 rupees which you are saving, if you take the entire money and give it to the owners of the bank, this will be wrong. You have to share the value you have created through digital transformation with all the stakeholders. So one of the most important change and impact you should bring in, you can make out that I have introduced this into the picture. Shared value, the source of this picture is given below. So you have to share the value you create. Without sharing the value, If you become a Shylock and every pound of flesh, if you consume, then you will not be able to survive in the market. What are the results and outcome? Results, outcome, you operate, maintain better, your supply chain is good, you are connected with things, you are absolutely connected every day with your market, your design and constructs are good, better and efficient, your business and ecosystem will be not be able to affect you much because you are digitally operating. Look at this, work from home in COVID-19 environment. Many companies have been caught unaware that if an employee gets into my database using a personal device, this home laptop and a personal landline, then my central database gets into risk and there is no protection into the central database access system. So the business ecosystem, if it is digitally transformed, it makes the system much more risk enabled. So COVID-19 pandemic has given us a beautiful learning point that your business ecosystem has to be designed such that you have to be completely risk free. So the last point which I was telling you, that digital transformation is a journey. So after you reach these results and outcomes, you start enjoying, you should not stop transforming yourself. You can continue more research, continue to update yourself more and keep transforming yourself, because technology will keep on improving and you have to also improve your digital transformation methodology. So digital transformation is not a digital lipstick or a digital destination. It's a continuous journey, destination after destination. I'll take you to the next slide. If you are a consultant, what is your perspective? If you are a consultant, your perspective is understand where the business is headed and use technology to help your customers' business to go there. So you have to essentially work on 4 things. You have to help them to become creative. Companies to achieve more together, better connecting employees and customers and suppliers. This I have already talked about. I don't want to get into. Next is your teamwork. You empower your employees to get work done from anywhere. That means, suppose you want to submit an invoice, your vendor wants to submit an invoice, directly file it to your database system. So you allow an access to your vendor through a front end that he doesn't send a physical invoice to you. He submits an invoice through an app, which straightaway gets into the accounting system of yours. So you are doing empower your employee and people to get work done from anywhere on any device. Like today, Bank Mitra is going to a farmer, taking 50 rupees and immediately depositing the money using a laptop device. Or he is carrying himself in his hand one iPad, and through this iPad he is filling up the through this iPad he is showing the banker that the money has been deposited to you, and he's showing to the farmer that the money has been received and put into the banking system. You as a consultant should always make things simple for your customer. Your devices should be simple, your app should be simple, your employees should find the operation system simple, etc., etc. You should be helping people to create their secured environment. That's the most important point in any digital transformation. The security angle and the innovation angle for changing your business process goes hand in hand. So security is the prima facie more important point, equally important like creativity, simplicity, and teamwork, if not more. So this is the consultant perspective of digital transformation. Now, as you know, government is digitally transforming very, very seriously, and very many government systems are digitally transformed now. Aragya Setu is one of them, digitally transformed system. Uh, Identification system of our people, that is your Aadhaar card, is digitally transformed system. Now, this is nothing created by me. This has been an OECD guideline. The OECD people have given you three pillars of government digital transformation success: good governance, efficiency, and effectiveness. Now, I will do this Venn diagram analysis in this way. If your system is effective and if your system is based on good governance, then your system becomes open, transparent, accountable, and autonomous. Because unless you are transparent, nobody will believe your system. Unless you have accountability, nobody will believe your system. Unless you give your citizen the autonomy to operate from his device, the system, they will not be working on it. Every time a government employee cannot feed his personal data because he may not like the government employee to know his personal data. So good governance and effectiveness creates these four values. Good governance and efficiency creates reliability, participation, citizens driven, and public value. So once you achieve good governance and effectiveness, your system becomes efficient. The moment your system becomes efficient, it becomes reliable. People participate, citizens drive the whole system, and finally, a public value is created. And come to efficiency and effectiveness pillar. If the system is efficient and effective, then empowerment takes place. Your citizen becomes empowered. Tomorrow, one never knows who will be doing voting through blockchain. When a blockchain system of voting is done, my MP will, suppose he wants to raise a question in parliament. 7 days before, through blockchain, he says that I'm going to raise this question. Do you, my members of my constituency, have any opinion about it? Do you have any suggestion for me? So all of you put certain suggestions, or some of you, the system analyzes the suggestion and gives a statistical analysis of your comments and your yes or no, or do not know, or change the question this way. All these things takes place. So you are empowering your citizen through your digital transformation. You are creating, every time you are doing a transaction through this system, you are creating an evidence, digital evidence. As you know, the Supreme Court of China, People's Supreme Court of China, has already approved that digital evidences, particularly for blockchain platforms, will be considered as a legal evidence for any legal dispute settlement in the country China. So blockchain has become a super reliable digital system. The demand management can be done through digital transformation. That means customers have got, your citizens have got suggestions. Suppose your citizens demand more hospitalization services. They place their demand. You can do demand management. You can, from placing of the demand, you can channelize them to hospitals, or you can channelize them to government officials who have to redress their grievances. And finally, personalization. Vernacular is one of the important. Aragya Setu is available in many languages of India. So you do personalize the. There are many other personalization points. I don't want to talk about it. Digital transformation of government services has to have the three pillars of good governance, efficiency, and effectiveness. Then it will be able to generate 12 good points about the system, and these 12 good points will make the system very robust. So this is my personal suggestion: 10 commandments for digital transformation. Humanity first, redistribute power, reduce complexities, reimagine consumption, go for creative destruction, manage climate emergency, be accountable without discrimination, be accountable to everybody. Fix imbalance of humanity and technology, which is they are huge today. Enhance technology with universal altruism. Our technology should be based on humanity's altruism. Let imagination, safety, and ethics lead transformation. So these are my personal suggestion for 10 commandments of digital transformation. Let me now try and see whether how much I can cover artificial intelligence as a digital tool which can be used for digital transformation. Here is a humanoid talking to a person, and this humanoid could be a banking advisor to this lady. This humanoid has got last 5 years data of savings bank of this lady and whatever she has saved so far, and pattern of drawing money from the bank account, or what are the time of the year month when she does many account, or was there any sudden huge drawing by her, and how many times she has used digital banking, how many times she has come to bank, so and her cash withdrawal has been entered by a physical cashier. All this information are available to this person. How much fixed deposit is done, how many fixed deposit she has prematurely withdrawn. All these data are with this humanoid. Okay, now they are talking. So this humanoid is an artificially intelligent humanoid. It can recognize the voice, and it has got it. When the savings bank account was opened, the picture was pasted in the savings bank form. So from this picture she can correlate that yes, this is the picture and name is the same. So it shows this intelligent humanoid can understand anything and everything and backend data of this customer. Terence Sejnowski is a computational neurobiologist who talks about a lot of human intelligence and cognitive intelligence in terms of medical science, etc. He says the future won't be made by either humans or machines alone, but by both working together. Technologies modeled on how human brains work are already augmenting people's abilities and will only get more influential as society gets used to these increasing capable machines. So machines, because of cognitive technology, are day by day becoming intelligent. So there has to be a perfect collaboration between machine and the man. This is what we collaboration is the word we use, particularly in manufacturing industry, where say 30% of the labor are humanoids or robots, and 70% are human beings. So in an assembly section of a car making company, if the humanoid and the people do not collaborate properly, there will be disruption in work and quality problems will be there. So what Terence is trying to say in the context of neurobiology or anything, there has to be a perfect matching, and human brains, it is the human brain which is making the humanoid. So if the human brain is making the humanoid and human brain in making is artificially intelligent, then it is the responsibility of the human brain to also, that is that digital scientist, to tell the physical person who will be working in collaboration that this is what you have to follow when you collaborate with a robot or a robotic process automation. So artificial intelligence has got three stages. What is artificial narrow intelligence? One is artificial general intelligence, and one is artificial super intelligence. Weather forecasting, what is done is artificial narrow intelligence. 100 years, 50 years data has been fit into the machine, or how algorithms have been given about temperature and air condition, and the machine calculates and tells what happens. So weather forecasting is an artificial narrow intelligence. Of course, algorithms are definitely human made. Next is artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence is as human being can do. Like in some of the schools of Madras and now in China, No roll call is done in classroom, because every single student's face is digitally captured in the system. And when a student comes to a classroom, the cameras continuously track those faces and links it to the name and the roll number and marks the student present. So a teacher is not required to take any roll call whether the student was present. This is what? This is a cognitive intelligence. I can recognize my student as a teacher, and this computer also can recognize my student as a student. So the computer is recognizing my student through a given data inside it. That is the metadata. So I have done a proper metadata management, and thus computer is managing my job. That is the artificial general intelligence. So human intelligence is equal to an computer intelligence. Now I'll give you a very surprising statement a little later. But the next is artificial super intelligence. When particular algorithm can do much better than a human being can do, it becomes a super intelligence. Now, the question which is being asked by people in the world is that whether it will be possible for artificial intelligence to take over the wisdom, emotional intelligence, and ethics of human being. One doesn't know. But certainly, artificial intelligence, smart houses, smart rooms in America and Europe have helped old people to live in their house in a much better way, because everything is digitally changed and transformed so that these old people can survive in a better way in their houses. Like the washing machine, their children who stay in some other city, they run their washing machine appropriately. So I don't want to get into it. Point I'm trying to understand, make you understand, is in digital transformation, artificial intelligence use is good and it will continue to be good. But will it be able to take the role of a human being's wisdom and the emotional intelligence? That is something is to be seen. And the day when wisdom and emotional intelligence and ethics are taken over, it will run into kind of super intelligence position. And my last study says that ethics are to an extent bit possible to be introduced to artificial intelligence, but the stage has not come that it is completely proven. This gentleman is the director of research at Facebook. What is saying? His name is Ian Lekan. He says, despite these astonishing advances, we are a long way from machines that are as intelligent as humans or even rats. So far, we have seen only 5% of what AI can do. So this man is giving you two messages. First message it gives that 95% of what artificial intelligence can do, we have not seen as yet. Algorithms are not ready. And as of now, the second message is, as of now, what is there in artificial intelligence that is not equivalent to the intelligence of a rat, not to speak of a human being. So artificial intelligence has got huge capability, and we have not even seen 5% of that capability. So in digital transformation, one can expect that artificial intelligence will be applied in a much bigger way. Think of this professor, her name is Ellen Denho. So she says, and I read, while I do believe human machines collaboration will bring many benefits to society over time, I fear that we will not have made enough progress by 2030 to ensure that benefits will be spread evenly or to protect against downside risks, especially as they relate to bias, discrimination, and loss of accountability by that time. So this lady, she is an ambassador of United States into the Human Rights Council, Geneva. This professor is a global digital policy incubator. She says that three things are very important. Artificial intelligence algorithms are still not bias free. still not discrimination free, and still not accountable. When I say accountable, suppose you have given to data about something, and the inference which has been drawn by the algorithm which is wrong. Recently, we have seen this kind of a problem in America about a decision regarding ethnicity. The wrong data inference was drawn by the algorithm, and the executed action was not in line with what should have been. So artificial intelligence doesn't have accountability. For example, if by listening to the humanoid, you take a decision for investment, and within 6 months, if you lose 30% or 40% of that investment value, whom are you going to sue? Are you going to sue the bank? Are you going to sue the humanoid, which is not a physical person? Are you going to sue the person who has done the algorithm, or are you going to sue the person who has designed the entire system, or the CEO of the company? So, bias, discrimination, and loss of accountability, these are the three things which are very, very important when you are going to do digital transformation using artificial intelligence and machine learning. Be careful about it. So, this is Dr. Paritosh Basu's personal contribution into the world of solution designing. I have written about it in 2 occasions in journals. When you design any digital solution, applying any digital tool, artificial intelligence, blockchain, IoT, drone, augmented reality, virtual reality, humanoids, robots, anything you design, you pass your solution in through these 8 questions. 8 W's and H1H, that means 9 questions. The first W question is, what are the latent needs and demands of the society and humanity? This question will help you to identify much ahead of time, much before your competitor, that which of these society's problem you need to solve by digital transformation. Next question is, who are the service providers and target customer? At the moment, who is giving the service? Maybe the service is not to the expectation or can be improved much better, but there is some service provider today. And who are the target customers? Next is, when the solution is to be delivered, updated, and upscaled. The solution has to be delivered when? Is it to be delivered every day? Is it to be delivered as and when needed? Is it to be delivered at a periodical interval? How the solution have to be updated? Suppose a person get promotion, his investable surplus increases, his ambition increases. So the solution has to capture the data accordingly. Suppose the country's savings bank rate changes. Suppose the mutual fund regulation changes, by virtue of which dividend from the mutual fund is taxable. So you have to change the solution. You have to, artificial intelligence has to tell the humanoid appropriately that dividend from mutual fund is also now taxable. So when the solution has to be updated and upscaled, scalability is a big issue in digital transformation. I don't want to talk about it at the moment, but day by day solutions are coming. What is the if the scalability is not there, then you have a problem. You remember shuru mein Amazon.com declared a huge sale on Diwali day, and their whole system collapsed for 2 days. 2 hours. It means that the system could not handle those many traffic of customers ordering things. So upscaling was not done. Where is the universe of customer located, and for what value? Are you addressing? You are addressing a set of customers. Where are those customers located? Do they have proper connectivity? Suppose I am an academic institution and I am trying to digitally deliver the classes. I need to be careful where are my students and whether they have got proper digital connectivity. Similarly, you are giving a banking solution. If this banking solution eats up a lot of data and takes a lot of bandwidth, your solution will be slow. So your designing of the solution should be such that it should be bandwidth light. Some of the virtual meeting rooms, I don't want to name them, are very huge bandwidth guzzlers, whereas some of the virtual meeting rooms are less bandwidth guzzlers. So that's the very important point one has to be understood. Next is whose regulations are to be complied with and for what risk. Digital transformation you do, for banking, you have to follow RBI. For insurance, you have to follow IDA. For companies, you have to follow SEBI and Companies Act and income tax, etc. So regulations have to be built into the solution, so that compliance is not compromised. Whom should the user refer to in case of trouble? The solution should have proper information about people whom should be contacted. So you cannot keep a customer high and dry midway of a transaction if it is not going through. Whether any better solution being offered by competitors, you should always benchmark yourself. If the competitor is doing a better solution and you are providing a suboptimal solution, better don't do that solution. Which are the vulnerable area? Here, vulnerability does not necessarily mean cyber security. Vulnerability also means that your customer information can be accessed internally by somebody who is not supposed to access it, or your customer data, your balance from one savings account can be shifted to other savings account. Your or the OTP which you send is not properly encrypted. So vulnerability can be in anything, including cybersecurity. So vulnerabilities are to be taken care of in a digital solution. Next is age. How to assess and track users' delight and ensure sustainability. Whether the customer is happy or not happy, whether majburi ki naam zindagi, that means he has to do the banking with you, or he has to do Arogya Setu, without which he will not be able to get into a flight. Whether that is the issue, a customer is happy to use this. Is the solution simple? Is it achieving customers' delight? So unless this 8W oriented question and 1H oriented question are giving you proper answer, which is a success factor for every solution to be successful with all the stakeholders, then this digital transformation will be successful, otherwise not. If you feel that your solution is only customer oriented and rest of the stakeholders are not to be bothered about, then you are not getting into the right direction. So down below I have given a statement: disrupt traditional business models and disrupt the latest process of service delivery with significant legal disruptions. What is disrupt? Disrupt means destructively disrupt. I'll tell you, the entire photography industry, which used to be giving us a camera, has been completely destructed by a digital phone introducing a digital camera inside it. Kodak has filed for bankruptcy. Kodak themselves invented digital photography, but Kodak did not believe that digital photography will be the future, and they continued with their physical photography. On paper, photographs used to come in, and Kodak is no more, died. So somebody is there through their digital transformation destructing your product, like BlackBerry, which was 95% market shareholder of high-end telephones once upon a time. I'm talking about digital mobile phone. Suddenly, iOS of Apple and Android came, completely gone. BlackBerry is no longer available. Similarly, disruption. Disruption is process disruption. When I say process disruption, take the case of television industry. Netflix, originally Amazon.com was a seller of books, then they became seller of various consumer goods. Now they sell grocery. Same database they are using for Prime, Amazon Prime. Now they reach various programs, entertainment programs, to your to your phone, which you can move on from your phone. You can move to your smart television. You don't need to go to a television channel and see a picture there, because the television channel will be disrupting you every 10 minutes or 15 minutes by a 3 minutes advertisement campaign. So what Amazon Prime has done, completely disrupted the entertainment industry, which was almost latest in terms of television industry. So anything and everything is happening in this world. Disruptions are happening and disruptions are happening. So be careful about the vulnerabilities when you are doing your digital transformation. This is another very important point when you do digital transformation, whether you are doing artificial intelligence, except for blockchain, any other digital transformation. My suggestion to you that you should be introducing ethical hacking as a part of your testing your systems, because cyber criminals go 3 steps ahead of solution designers. Any solution they can penetrate to spawn the malwares into the system and hold you for ransom. 400,000 cyber attacks have taken place in 2 months of COVID-19 pandemic. Because of people are working from home, systems have become vulnerable. So be careful. Your system can be made foolproof by introducing a concept of ethical hacking in your when you design. And this ethical hacking not only should be done once, it has to be continuously done, because hackers are, if they do not penetrate your system today, certainly they will penetrate your system tomorrow. But one system cannot be hacked, according to me, and that is any platform which is developed by blockchain system cannot be hacked, because it is based on distributed ledger. So I want to share with you a very interesting research. 979 participants were interviewed by a research group of Ellen University, USA. They were asked, is it most likely that advancing AI and related technology will enhance human capacities and empower them? Will most people be better off than they are today? Or is it most likely that those will lessen human autonomy and agency to such an extent that most people will not be better off? So these 3 questions were asked to them. Essentially, they are trying to understand whether people will be happy by using solutions which are developed by artificial intelligence, and whether people will be machine dependent very soon. That means lessen human autonomy and agency to such an extent that most people will not be better off. See the answers. 63% of the respondents said most people will mostly be better off. That means 63% will be better off, but not 100% better off. Mostly better off. The word mostly, let us say, takes 75. So 63% will be 75% happy. So 63 multiplied by 0.75 is roughly about 46, 47. That's the kind of people will be happy with the digitally transformed solution as the situation stands today, because AI is 5% intelligent than rat, equivalent to that. For a moment, please do not misunderstand me. I am not asking you to stop at applying digital transformation using artificial intelligence, machine learning. You continue to do that, but continue to be more innovative, continue to be more security oriented, continue to be more risk oriented, continue to make the algorithm more error free. That's the most important point. So 37% people of the respondents said people will not be better off. When it was asked to the analysts, these are not the business people, they are analyst people, they are influencer. They said that became even more dependent on networked AI. So they are saying that digital transformation will make people dependent. So one thing I must tell you, that when you are doing digital transformation, Do not expect people to be totally dependent on it. You should be allowing them to be free, particularly after introduction of GDPR, that is General Data Protection Rule by European Union. This part of the story of digital transformation has to be taken care of properly. Increasing dependence on AI and system is likely to lead widespread difficulties. This is a dangerous statement. That means some people feel that difficulty may be brought in by AI. So when you apply AI, be careful that you have taken care of all the dimensions of your user's happiness. So the point here is that skepticism in the minds of people are still there. You have to take care of that skepticism. Okay. So I already showed you the OECD guideline. This is what is the narrative of that OECD guideline. Uh, I don't want to get into it. So the slogan here is that the wonder is achieved when knowledge meets imagination. You have to test your imagination with the past knowledge. When the past knowledge approves the future imagination, then only the success becomes kind of ensured and people become happy with your solution. Here is a very interesting data which has been thrown up by this International Development Research Center, IDRC, in a joint data analysis and research by Oxford. Very interesting, and you'll be surprised to know that in the index of artificial intelligence readiness, India is ahead of China. India's score is 7.515 and China's score is 7.370. Slightly ahead. India is in 17th position. China is in 20th position out of 194 countries. Of course, Singapore is the highest, 9.186, and USA is at the fourth position. Here, I'm seeing a huge possibility. If this is the kind of readiness of artificial intelligence is there amongst the digital scientists of India, then we have huge potential sitting in India to make digital transformation using algorithms which Indians can achieve. But the question is to be done, job to be done. Here is another very interesting information which I want to share with you. This same International Development Research Center says that $15 trillion will be added to the global economy by 2030 by artificial intelligence. But the word of caution they have sounded that the southern part of the world, if you divide the world into two pieces, northern globe and southern globe, the benefit of artificial intelligence will accrue more to the global north and where the US, Europe is sitting. The most of the Asian countries and the in Latin American countries, they will be not receiving the benefit of artificially intelligent digital transformation, although they will be participating. Their people will be giving the solutions, but the benefit will reach to the upper part. This particular anxiety of the research done by Oxford and International Development Research Center makes you to feel that there will be unequal implementation will take place and unequal distribution of the money saved by digital transformation will be done. So objective is to encourage governments to be as prepared as possible to help citizens take advantage of the benefits of automation while protecting them for associated risks. So in my 10 commandments, I said that it should be universal altruism. Every single person of the society should be treated same. Digital transformation should not accrue benefit to the HNIs and corporates for the benefit of them. It should be distributed and shared with the lowest rung of the society. That's the objective. So this is the ethical part of AI. Uh, AI is nothing but uh, a set of ethics, ethics in prediction, ethics in drawing outcomes from the data, and ethical quality of the impact of that in human. It can harm by wrong algorithms can draw wrong predictions or give wrong results, and if the wrong results are done, then the wrong decisions will be taken. So ethical dimensions of the artificial intelligence has to be first looked at. Testing has to be done such that it is foolproof. And the most important is that whenever you are doing a digital transformation where data is your raw material, you must be aware of three things. Whether data is having irrelevant data will give you wrong result. Whether the data is having corruption, that means data is not correct, it has been corrupted by other data. Suppose you are doing an inventory management digital transformation, and in your data you have you are doing raw material digital transformation, and in your raw material data you have got corruption by finished goods stock codes, your results will be wrong. I'm giving you a simple example. Suppose you have got 600 components which you use, and you make in your factory, say 200 components which you produce yourself. Now you are doing a digital transformation of your component buying. And in that data which you are drawing, consumption data, price data, or stock out data, whatever, in that data, your factory made components also get into the results which will be thrown up by the algorithm, which will be wrong, because you are only trying to take a review of your bought out components data. So data uh, which you will be using for digital transformation, understanding that data is very important. AI can have bias, AI can have fairness, AI needs to have accountability and remediability. That's the point that lady professor was talking about. The data has to be transparent, it should be interpretable. So data should be data. If the humanoid has not been provided with proper data of a customer, the investment advisory the humanoid will give by processing the data through its algorithms will be wrong. So data can create a lot of havoc, data can create a lot of good things. So when you do artificial intelligence, when you apply machine learning, please be careful about using the right data in the right perspective for the right relevant decision to be taken. So these are some of the issues of using artificial intelligence for robot. For a moment, I am not suggesting anything negative. Don't take me that I am sounding to be negative. I am not trying to be negative. What is important, I'm trying to tell you, is that you should be careful about the data which you're using for drawing inferences through your digital transformation tools. This is an anxiety getting addressed where 78% of jobs can be converted into automation, and 25% of the world jobs cannot be converted into automation. Like animal husbandry, goatery, these are the things you cannot do in automation. So let's understand that uh, not everything can be digitally transformed. Where personal skill of human being is absolutely needed, you cannot automate. Green technology is important. I don't want to get into this slide in a much detailed way. Here I'm trying to say that whatever solutions you design should not be getting into a lot of broadband usage and a lot of electricity usage. Uh, 10 minutes. Uh, the more electricity you use, the more carbon emission you do. So solutions which you design should be less electricity guzzlers. That is most important. And you should also develop digital transformation solution which will be reducing, helping industry to remit less carbon gas. That means your digital transformation schedule not only consume less electricity, but also help make processes, systems much more efficient so that energy consumption is less. Green computing. There are ethical human issues of solution designing. I would like to quickly go through. I'm almost at the back end, fag end of my presentation. I have given a 13-point agenda to test your ethical and human dimension issues of solution designing, particularly with AI, artificial intelligence, and robotics. I'll quickly read through these points since we are almost at the fag end of this session. Directionless. What happens if there is no directional guidance and regulation? So every digital transformation should be under certain regulation. Legal authority. What happens if users suffer losses due to advices from humanoids are wrong? Whom they go and sue? What is the benefit or what is the remediation process? Whether the robot has got legal authority to suggest me. Unemployment. Will AI be able to generate new jobs with more thinking content? Because digital transformation will be throwing out people from employment. So it is the responsibility of the same system to find out other way of training people and using them for other purposes. Next is collaboration. If you are applying robotic process automation, it has to collaborate with the human being who will be working with this. So collaboration of man and machine and digital tools are very important. Next point number 5 is transition. How to ensure transition with painless change management. When you are doing work with the non-digital form and you are now getting into digital form, change management, cultural management important, but process change is also a very painful exercise. You have to get into that. Inequality. You should be distributing the wealth created by any digital transformation, AI or for that matter any. The benefits generated by digital transformation should be shared. Humanity should be your prime consideration. Humanity should be your prime consideration. It means you should not make people slave of systems. People should be allowed to enjoy their intelligence and allowed to join their independence. You should not make them slaves. Okay. Uh, uh, Bias and robots should be operated by artificial intelligence in such a manner that the decision they generate, function they do are not biased. Security is of course the primary consideration of any digital transformation. It cannot say that I cannot protect you from cyber criminals or fraudsters within your system. Next is evil genius. How do we protect unintended consequences? That means artificial intelligence is generating such inferences that it has become an evil genius. Instead of doing good to your business processes, it is doing bad to your business processes. And at times you tend to believe that because it is a digital tool driven answer, it cannot be wrong. So there is evil genius is possible. Singularity. uh, how do I stay control of a complex intelligence system? At the end of the day, we should not surrender to any digital transformation system. We should be able to control the digital tool which I use. Next is robot right. How do we define human treatment of AI? Uh, unless and until we have human wisdom, human ethics, and human emotional intelligence, compassion built into system, we will not be able to serve humanity. What I mean to say is that technology doesn't have morality, ethics, compassion, and emotional intelligence, but technologists have. So digital solutions which we create, it should be not immoral, not unethical. It should be following the governing principle, and it should take care of human requirement. So artificial stupidity is the last point. How can we safeguard against mistakes? So our digital transformation, if mistakes are done, there should be methodology available to correct that mistake. Finally, I go to Rabindranath Tagore. Uh, because any digital transformation is matter of service to the society. So I want to quote him how service is important. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted and behold that service was joy. So service is always a joy as long as you not only dream of it, you deliver the service appropriately, then service will give you a lot of joy. That's this gentleman, a great philosopher of this world, told us. I'll take you to the another scientist philosopher of the world. His name is Albert Einstein. He said, I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. So I do not know whether Albert Einstein really said this, but this is an anxiety that we should not be converted by digital transformation, a generation of idiot. For that, I have a prescription, and that is my last slide. 7 T's and 7 P's. Success of digital transformation will depend on those human qualities of solution builders, that is emotional intelligence, ethics, morality, and compassion, which will leave least scope for the user to deploy against humanity with an ulterior motive. So digital transformation solutions are to be designed in such a manner that people cannot use it for with ulterior motive. And for that, I have suggested 7 T's and 7 P's. 7 T's are technology, talent, truth, trust, transparency, tenacity, and timeline. I repeat: technology, talent, truth, trust, transparency, tenacity, and timeline. And finally, 7 P's: people, patience, passion, perseverance, piety, purity, and penance. As long as in your digital transformation scheme and journey, these 7 T's or 7 P's are always present, I'm sure success will meet you. Thank you very much indeed. I hope you have enjoyed. I repeat, if you have any query, and if I alive by the time you send the query, please connect with me in LinkedIn. I am having more than 14,500 connection as I speak as of now. And through that connection, you can connect with me, and you can send me queries. I'll be happy to answer your queries. Okay. Thank you very much indeed. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have liked it, the presentation, or if you have any query, please connect with me through LinkedIn or through Twitter. I'm happy to be here with you, and I'm extremely grateful to the Institute of Cost Accountants of India for giving me this opportunity to share with you my thoughts on digital transformation. Thank you so much.